You're watching Alaska's news source.
Today in the Morning Edition, Capitol Countdown. The House passed the budget, but the Senate is taking its time. What's next with the deadline just days away?
Plus, park under watch. Cameras could soon be keeping an eye on Town Square, why some say it's needed and others have questions. And later.
About 3 of us all at once going, that's a project we could do.
Stitching with Purpose, a group of women is turning fabric into freedom. How their monthly mission is changing lives for girls half a world away. As the Morning Edition starts now. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us on a Thursday. That always looks like a fun hobby.
Yeah, I don't know how to sew, but I do cross stitch sometimes as like a hobby. It's pretty relaxing.
And you paint too, yeah. A little dibble-dabble.
Hobbies.
Turning those hobbies into a passion for a good cause.
I know.
We are waking up this morning. We are seeing some rain showers that have begun to build into inland parts of South Central. And while we are seeing some of that drizzle activity to some light rain showers, it's not going to stick around all day long. Our better chance of seeing that rain is this morning. By the afternoon, we'll see more in the way of mostly cloudy to overcast skies. 43 degrees is where we're currently sitting at. Winds have died down for most of South Central. However, later today, we could see resurgence in some of those winds across the region. So rain has built for inland locations, and you can see how scattered it is this morning. Most of the rain, though, staying confined to coastal regions. And while the rain looks fairly impressive this morning, it's very light activity, a drizzle to a light rainfall that is occurring to start off the morning. And those temperatures are sitting anywhere from 32 degrees in Eureka to the 40s elsewhere. The warm spot Palmer coming in at 46 degrees and Homer at 47 degrees. So we are seeing some temperatures sitting in the upper 40s to near 50 degrees this morning. And that band of rain showers will stay with us for the first part of the day. We should see drier conditions later this afternoon. But we are still holding on to this unsettled weather, this wet conditions, these overcast skies keeping us slightly cooler each afternoon. We've already seen up to 3/10 of an inch of rain out towards Portage, a few hundredths of an inch surrounding locations across the Anchorage Bowl down through Seward as well as Cordova. So this activity continues to remain fairly light, and I'm not expecting any impressive rainfall totals. Out towards Prince William Sound, we could see the potential for up to a half an inch to slightly higher amounts through the remainder of today into your Friday. And then from the Anchorage Bowl into the valley and western parts of the Kenai, we're only talking about the potential for a few hundredths of an inch of rainfall, but this active weather stays with us. I'll have more on that in that 7-day forecast coming up.
This morning's top story, security could be getting a boost in downtown Anchorage. The city wants to install cameras at Town Square Park.
The goal is to deter crime and better respond to incidents. Joe Allgood shows us where they go and why business owners nearby say it's long overdue.
The municipality of Anchorage has suggested putting security cameras here in Town Square Park behind me. Here's what that might look like.
We kind of consider this as a pilot project for the city. We'll be placing cameras in Town Square Park. They'll be open where you can see where they're at. There will be signs, so none of this is surreptitious recording.
This diagram shows where the cameras are to be located around the park. At a press conference on Wednesday, Anchorage Police Chief Sean Case could not say when the cameras might be put up, but confirmed that they've already been ordered. The goal? Deterrence.
We're hoping, first and foremost, that this will be a deterrent. That some of the activity that is taking place in Town Square Parks that's impacting businesses or impacting those that want to use Town Square Park, that activity will be reduced just by the fact that there's cameras that are operating.
And better enforcement.
A lot of the challenges in Town Square Park with doing enforcement action in that area is typically by the time the officers get there to conduct the investigation, the people, the witnesses, the victims, they're gone. And so that information, now is lost. And so we can't take enforcement action.
The press conference addressed a number of different topics regarding homelessness and current municipality efforts to reduce it.
I've had a few friends who have experienced theft out of their vehicles. They've had their vehicles stolen, their livelihood stolen, and it saddens my heart because these are awesome people in our community that don't deserve that, and I've never seen it this high before.
Those nearest Town Square Park, like Humpy's Ale House and Flat Top Pizza, say the proximity of the park has effects on business.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, when there's functions over there, it always helps, but in the evenings with the problem demographic, that does cause issues.
And hope the new cameras might help.
We're all for it. We have security cameras on our property, and we also face the street, so something more to keep an eye on some of the issues that happen downtown would be a good idea.
You can read more about the cameras and Wednesday's press conference on our website. Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
An Anchorage family identified the man killed in a police shooting earlier this week as 42-year-old Utuva Alilua. Police say Alilua was shot Monday during a traffic stop on Burgaw Street. His girlfriend was in the passenger seat. The family also says he was the brother of a man killed by police in a separate officer-involved shooting back in February. According to APD, Monday's incident began with a traffic violation and escalated after a verbal exchange leading to an officer to fire. So far, police have not released body camera video or further details, but plan to hold a press conference next Wednesday.
A judge sentenced an Anchorage man to 30 years in prison for a brutal sexual assault. On Wednesday, 43-year-old Richard Lehman Joe was sentenced for raping a woman who had been staying at his home in 2019. Judge Kevin Saxby noted Joe's long criminal history and alcohol abuse, adding that the case reflects the community's outrage over sexual violence. Joe will also serve 15 years of probation after his release and must register as a sex offender for life. A preliminary report from the NTSB is raising new questions about last month's deadly plane crash in Nanwalek and renewing calls to improve the village's runway.
It's also an airport or a runway that needs help, you know. Unfortunate that it takes lost lives to get to this point.
That's the voice of Linda Rourke, who captured this video while flying into Nanwalek with pilot Daniel Bunker on a separate trip. Bunker was later killed in the April crash along with 37-year-old Jenny Irene Miller, a well-known Alaskan artist. The Department of Safety now confirms the Nanwalek runway does not meet federal aviation standards. The report confirms the runway doesn't meet those standards and includes a never-before-seen photo of the crash site. Investigators also interviewed the lone survivor, a man who remembers the plane sliding to the right, then making a sharp left turn before crashing on the beach.
He basically was able to kind of tell us, for the most part, while on approach from the north to the south on runway 19, sidestepped to the right, flew out over the water, and then there was a very sharp turn to the left. And basically where the airplane ended up impacting the beach was pretty much at the approach end of runway 19. So very sharp turn, low to the ground, low airspeed.
Witnesses have also claimed a dog may have been on the runway and that pilot may have been trying to avoid it, but that has not been confirmed. The NTSB is still investigating that possibility. Meanwhile, a state DOT spokesperson says relocating the Nanwalek runway has been under consideration for years, but there's still no timeline for when that might happen.
Mayor Suzanne LaFrance is laying out her plan to tackle homelessness in Anchorage.
And I know many people, again, are concerned and frustrated, and I'm here to tell you that we are taking action and we are making progress, and we are going to continue to make progress. And yes, it's going to take some time.
At a press conference Wednesday, she said the city is focused on 5 areas: abatement, enforcement, crisis care, shelter, and housing. LaFrance promised action, but also asked for patience, saying the work will take time. Some residents at the event pushed back, saying they're frustrated with slow progress and worried about camps moving into neighborhoods.
And just being in the backyards of the residents, near schools, and this is enough. They need to do something, and hopefully this is the beginning of them paying attention to the residents of Anchorage to get something done.
The city's largest encampment at Davis Park is slated for removal this summer, but no date was given.
In Capitol coverage this morning, the amended budget is still waiting for final approval. Senate Bill 57 passed the House Wednesday and now sits in the Senate for a possible concurrence vote. It could happen anytime, but as of last night, lawmakers chose to hold off and continue discussions. With the last day of the regular session coming next Wednesday, pressure is building to get a final deal done. Today, a bipartisan message from Juneau is headed to Washington. The Alaska House has given final passage to a resolution urging Congress to restore and make permanent the Secure Rural Schools Act. The program funds schools and essential services in forest communities impacted by federal land ownership. Representative Jeremy Bynum says it's a critical step to support places like Ketchikan, Wrangell, the Kenai Peninsula, and more than a dozen others. It's a way to help offset the loss of tax revenue and timber receipts. And when the morning edition continues, riders roll out for Bike to Work Day in Fairbanks.
How cyclists are being rewarded with snacks, swag, and a chance to shape the future of local transportation. Plus,
a second life for used shoes. I'm Cristian Benavides with how one company's mission is also helping the environment.
Rain showers remain with us across the Gulf Coast region. I'll let you know what to expect in the days ahead and when we'll see some sunshine. But first at sunrise, 5:11 in Anchorage, 4:30 in Juneau. Your full forecast is next.
And good morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us here on this Thursday.
yeah, weather-wise, looks like South Central is going to be a bit wet here.
Yeah, we are seeing most of that rain out towards coastal regions, but as you step outside for inland areas to start off the morning, we are seeing some of that drizzle to light rain that will stay with us for at least the first part of the day. We should see some drier conditions into the afternoon hours, but unfortunately, those overcast skies will remain with us, and we may have to wait until early next week before we see some sunshine returning back in the forecast. So there's our area of low pressure. It is weakening as it approaches the Alaska Peninsula, and as the core of that low pressure is well to the west of South Central. We're not seeing heavy widespread rain, but we are still holding on to that scattered to periodic activity for inland areas, while coastal regions continues to see that best shot for some rain, and of course southeast also tapping into that activity as well. So parts of southwest Alaska, we've got some spotty to isolated showers as you head out towards the Kuskokwim Delta this morning, and in Bristol Bay, of course, seeing a better opportunity for some of that rain as well. And it will be another breezy day for parts of coastal regions and areas out through southwest Alaska. So coastal areas will see the best chance for rain. Notice inland locations, we'll see that gradual decrease of those showers that we are seeing this morning, but those cloud coverage will stick around through the remainder of the day. And then what we're going to be watching as we close out this week and welcome in the weekend will be some improving conditions for coastal regions. We'll see the showers beginning to lighten up. We'll still see that potential for some spotty isolated showers this weekend, but that activity will be a lot drier and beginning to die down as we welcome in our Friday and Friday evening. So a lot drier conditions will arrive into the weekend, but those cloudy skies will stay with us. And as we continue to head through the rest of May, there is good signs that we are going to continue to hold on to this unsettled weather, which will keep rain in the forecast. But like we typically see, there will be ample dry time with this wet weather pattern. We'll likely hold on to a bit more in the way of cloud coverage in the forecast, while coastal regions sees that better chance for some rain. Temperatures today will warm into the low to mid 50s. We may even touch near 60 degrees through parts of the valley. But of course, cloud coverage and rain showers will limit just how warm we'll get throughout the day. And you can see some of those breezy conditions once again expected for your Thursday. Max winds today may peak at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. So 40s and 50s for most of South Central. You can see a few locations in the valley could manage to make a run near 60 degrees today with a chance for some showers and some breezy conditions. We got 53 degrees in Anchorage, 47 degrees in Girdwood. One thing we will be watching throughout the remainder of today, those rain showers for inland locations will come to an end. We may see some sunshine breaks later today, but the overall trend continues to favor those overcast skies. Into our Friday, you can see low to mid 50s expected. The weekend bring in a chance that we could see some scattered to periodic showers as well. And then as we head into Monday, this looks to be our best chance where we could see some sunshine in the forecast for now. Going with partly sunny skies, but do keep in mind with this unsettled weather, we may hold on to a bit more cloud coverage, but we'll see some dry time here and there. Daily highs will potentially warm into the mid to upper 50s as we welcome in the middle of next week.
All right, thanks, Aaron. Well, in Fairbanks, cyclists got a little extra fuel for their commute in honor of Bike to Work Day. Organizations like the Fairbanks Cycling Club and Borough Parks and Rec set up snack stations around town where riders could grab a bite, check out some local bike routes, even win some prizes. The event also helped recruit volunteers for the annual Bike and Pedestrian Count, which tracks active transportation across the region.
For us, it's a really big priority, and we actually are about to enter our long-range transportation planning effort again, the Metropolitan Transportation Plan, or MTP, as we like to call it. We're gearing up that planning process with some amazing consultants, and that's basically going to be our next opportunity to ask people, what do you love? What do you dislike? Where do you feel safe? Where do you feel unsafe in our planning area?
The bike and pedestrian count will take place on May 20th and 21st, and Bike to Work Day for Anchorage is tomorrow.
Also in Fairbanks, locals got a firsthand look at where their trash goes after the bin. The borough invited community members to tour the central recycling facility. Visitors learned what materials can be recycled and how items are sorted and processed before being shipped out of state.
One of those landfills I mentioned was at the edge of town when they needed to be built, and it's further and further away. So the impetus for keeping all of this out of the landfill helps preserve the length of our current landfill, helps ensure that whatever landfill we have to build next doesn't fill up with stuff that doesn't need to be there.
Green Star encourages people to recycle more in order to prevent landfill overflow. Their next tour will be Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Think twice before tossing those old kicks. Your sneakers could have a second life.
Runners in Miami are donating their old shoes to a program that gives them new life, either on the feet of someone in need or as materials for something entirely new. Christian Benavidez has the story.
Did want to recognize everybody who brought out a pair of shoes.
This donation box at Miami's Brickell Run Club asks runners to recycle used sneakers that would otherwise wind up in the trash.
Typically on a weekly basis, we'll probably get, I don't know, maybe 20 pairs of running shoes that people are deciding to part ways with.
Frankie Ruiz is the Brickell Run Club's founder.
We collect them every week. We fill up probably one of these boxes once or twice a month.
The footwear, gathered from drop-off locations across the country, lands at a warehouse near Miami's Little Haiti neighborhood.
Something like this right here should never be tossed away.
This is Sneaker Impact's headquarters, where shoes are sorted to be reused or recycled, depending on their condition.
It's all about accountability, sending the right product to the right market. Sneakers are a necessity in developing country. It's a form of transportation.
All of the reusable shoes are shipped outside of the U.S., where they're eventually resold by mom and pop shops in the developing world, in places like Haiti, Honduras, Guatemala, and Bolivia.
You're not only reducing waste here at home, you're creating micro-business opportunities in developing countries.
Shoes not shipped out for resale are crushed to begin a second life as foam, rubber, or textiles.
Those could be made into flooring, into mats, into tiles, and we've also made a sandal from 85% sneaker foam.
Owner Mo Hatcham says his goal was to develop an environmentally friendly way to do business.
This is important. I mean, there is no planet B. Sneaker Impact should be the last resort. Reuse, upcycle, give to your neighbors.
Extending the life of sneakers to help people and the environment. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
Sneaker Impact also has boxes in specialty running stores, universities, schools, and gyms.
I don't want to recycle my tennis to some flats or some sandals.
Quite a few pairs, yeah.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically and stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.